Well, you guys knew this video was coming, but before we get into the video, guys, don't forget to like, subscribe, and put the bell on for all notifications that are the Mr. Teshk Wrestling channel. Now, on to the video. Nia Jax has returned to the world of professional wrestling, and for myself, I have no idea why. Last night, we got the surprise of a lifetime when we saw Raquel Rodriguez get absolutely obliterated by a Samoan drop from the returning Nia Jax. And then Rhea Ripley retains her women's world title only to get absolutely obliterated by Nia Jax. We're lucky that nobody got hurt in this one. This is one of those ones where I don't really think WWE knows what they're doing, or it was Vince McMahon saying, hey, Endeavor, have fun. No, like, let's be real. WWE and Vince McMahon probably had nothing to do with this entire creative move. This was probably a Triple H thing. And I just want to go into the reason why I feel this is a very bad decision. First off, let me get into this by saying I don't dislike Nia Jax the person. I feel that she is actually a great person to have in the locker room. She's looked up to. A lot of people really enjoy having her around, but it just comes to the subtle, massive mistakes that we have seen since about 2017 with Nia Jax in the ring. And I'm going to break down some of the biggest spots that Nia Jax has done to potentially harm and end people's careers. First one we're going to talk about is obviously the most infamous, and that is beginning of one of the greatest female runs in professional wrestling, that being Becky Lynch and Nia Jax throwing one of the biggest Mike Tyson haymakers for no reason in a brawl on an episode of Monday Night Raw. This saw the invasion of Becky Lynch and the SmackDown Women's Division coming in and invading Monday Night Raw, where in the mix of all the commotion, Nia Jax decided to haul off and throw a direct straight right punch to Becky Lynch's nose, fracturing her orbital bone and her nose as well, putting the man out of the Survivor Series match, which was virtually built up all around Becky Lynch and her rise. Luckily, Becky Lynch was able to overcome her injury and later on go on to one of the longest and strongest female runs we've ever seen in the division. Now, let's just quickly break this down for a second. Nia Jax potentially harmed the biggest cash cow that WWE had at that point in Becky Lynch. They were putting so much focus and effort on the rise and growth of Becky Lynch that Nia Jax really should have thought a little clearer instead of just saying, you know what, I'm just gonna throw this right and we'll see what happens. This is my concern with Nia Jax being back because of what we saw last night. Nia Jax, you know, the Samoan drop was clean. Happy with that. My concern was the 6 slaps to the face on Rhea Ripley while she was down and out, and also the full sit down bonsai bomb that she dropped on her chest. Obviously, Rhea knows how to take that spot. Her core is strong enough, but it wasn't the drop that bugged me. It was the way she stepped up onto the ropes with her full right boot pressed just below Rhea's chest into her ribs. That is not okay. You are a 200 plus pound woman going on to, even though it's Rhea Ripley, a smaller woman, and putting your full footing on there. It made no sense to me. You didn't need to do that. I just didn't like it from a personal standpoint. I'm sure Rhea's completely fine, and we're going to have some backlash next Monday, which I'm looking forward to, but this is just going down the rabbit hole of decisions that Nia Jax makes in the ring, for me, sometimes without thinking. Now, let's rewind it back to a match between Nia Jax and Charlotte Flair, where there was 2 incredibly terrifying spots in this match. First one was a back moonsault, where obviously Charlotte Flair, we have seen her do this 1,000 times off the top rope outside of the ring. Nia Jax is supposed to catch her. It's an easy bump. You fall back and you catch her. Well, I think Nia Jax forgot where she was at this point, because when this moonsault happened, it ended up with Charlotte Flair landing face first on the outside, and that is arguably a 12 to 15 foot drop with the height of what Charlotte Flair is. Okay, you can get away with that one. That's a weird spot. Some people don't take it as well as others, and we've seen it with the men time and time again. Here's my next problem. Minutes later in this match, Nia Jax needs to go into a knee breaker, knee shoulder breaker, I don't know what you want to call this, but she virtually drops Charlotte Flair on her neck. And this is one of the scariest spots that I've seen, next to the one we're going to cover next, because what was it about this spot that you don't know what to do? This is a very, very basic spot in professional wrestling, and we've seen it time and time again. Guys, I'm not a professional wrestler. I just watch it time and time again, and this is what we see all the time from everyone else. It's a clear, easy drop and push forward, lay them on their back. Nia, for some reason, just let her go. As you can see, she just drops her on her neck. Sorry, I'm getting a little heated on this because this is the stuff that concerns me about the wrestlers that we have right now. Not many are the size of Nia Jax. We have Rhea Ripley and Raquel. Other than that, there's Piper Niven, who's not going to be anywhere near the world title picture anytime soon. So you basically have to worry about smaller women potentially returning, like Liv Morgan or potentially Shotzi. And we've already seen, don't even get me into Shotzi, but there has been times that there's been spots that Shotzi's taken that have been questionable. But putting Nia Jax into the ring with smaller women like Zelina Vega, Shotzi, Chelsea Green, it's a little concerning for her track record from what we've seen. Let's break down another one. Back into the Women's Revolution pay-per-view, we had a Women's Battle Royal, which was with Zelina Vega taking a very scary spot where it was just a military press to the outside. Now, there are others to blame in this as well. There was Tamina on the outside who was just to make the catch, but the way Zelina Vega was thrown out the ring, she ended up landing on her face. Another scary spot involving, unfortunately, Nia Jax. And I could go down a list. Kairi Sane, with when she was thrown face first into the stairs. You had Kairi Sane during the lockdown where she was thrown back first into the lower turnbuckle, and I believe that did concuss her. We have the likes of Bayley, who has had one of the best runs going into the SummerSlam feud with Alexa Bliss, where Bayley had a match against Nia and she was thrown into the mat, injuring her shoulder, pulling Bayley from one of the biggest builds and arguably one of the best builds that we had seen for Bayley to potentially become champion at SummerSlam against Alexa Bliss. But that was all scrapped because of a bad spot with Nia. This video is just for me to say I am confused at why WWE chose to bring back someone with a track record like this. When you look at everyone else that was available, there's Mandy Rose, who is the longest running at the time NXT Women's Champion and was able to build a great run, honestly, until she had to get released because of her other content. There's a conversation that can be had with bringing Mandy Rose back if WWE wanted to. There's the likes of Kairi Sane. There's the likes of Lacey Evans, who they tried to build something for her, but it just never got over. But there was times that you look at who's available in the women's division outside of Nia, that look at Trinity Fatu. Bring back Trinity. She is arguably growing and building her brand heavily on the independent scene and Impact to make her a household name again in WWE. I don't understand this. We've had so many instances where wrestlers have been injured or have come out publicly. Ember Moon's husband came out with a tweet at one point saying that they didn't want Nia Jax to be working with Ember Moon because of an injury that was never disclosed, but they made it public until the tweet was deleted shortly after. You look at the injury to Mandy Rose. Again, another spot with Mandy being thrown outside the ring too hard and landing on her shoulder and injuring her shoulder. That was during the lockdown era. There has been so many times that Nia Jax has proven that maybe she's gotten better. Maybe she's trained with the right people like Natalya and Tyson Kidd. The rumors that are she has been working very hard. But at the end of the day, the track record speaks for itself. Do we want to see all these women like Becky Lynch, Rhea Ripley, Raquel, Liv Morgan when she returns, Shayna Baszler when she finally gets her run, and also Zoe Starks, who's getting finally a good push? My concern here is that WWE has seen a limited main event to the women's roster, and they have jumped the gun in bringing back someone that could potentially harm the division over making it more sound and a lot better. This is my opinion and my opinion alone. Again, I am not trying to say Nia Jax doesn't deserve a second chance. What I'm saying is only time will tell if she has gotten better. But at this point, just like Kevin Owens said to Jey Uso, it's going to take a long time to convince me otherwise. So Nia Jax being back in WWE, I'm not about it. That is my own personal opinion. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Are you happy that she's back? Are you concerned like me? Do you have a different hot take? Guys, you know me. I will forever give my opinion and my true God's honest opinion. And right now, I am concerned for the women's division on Monday Night Raw. We've already seen the tag titles have been a curse. Now, what does the return of Nia Jax lead to for professional wrestling? My opinion's my opinion. Guys, don't forget to like, subscribe, and put the bell on for all notifications that are my Mr. Teshk Wrestling channel. Like always, be good people.